So they will never have international airports. They will call it international, but it won't be international in the real sense of it. There's a reason for that. There's so many things that they have deliberately, intentionally, right, put a ceiling on when it comes to the eastern part of Nigeria. Mind you, as they were doing, they're doing the same thing all over the place, but in a different form, in a different way. Do you understand? People can become anything. Tanzania, from what I heard though, Tanzania, is it Tanzania being Ethiopia? Okay, I'm always like confused with both, right? Tanzania, Ethiopia. One of them, anyway, is considered as one of the most populated countries in Africa too, about 92 million or thereabouts. They're quite massive, right? But they do not, and it's also considered as one of the most developed countries in Africa. Beautiful. Yeah. They do not have this access to this massive sea like you have there in this River Niger. You know that Onitsha and River Niger, they are next to each other, right? And that was meant to be dredged. And international ships could actually sail in and land there. That was the project of federal government of Nigeria. And it's been like that. It's been their project for more than maybe 4 or 5 decades. I'm telling you. It was never to be dredged. It was never to be developed, because what if they start importing their weapons to come and fight Nigeria again? People with that mindset are in power in Nigeria. And somehow maybe they are even transferring it, because most of the people with this mindset, most of them are dead, who were in power, who put this in place. So an average Igbo politician, right, is not different from an average Yoruba politician or an average Hausa or Fulani politician. They are all using their own ethnic nationality as a meal ticket. It's like a ticket to get access to the table so that they can sit down and say, my people are happy, Mr. President. My people are very happy with you. We are building roads now. We are building, what? What are they building again? We are renovating the one single gauge rail track from northern Nigeria, Maiduguri to Abakaliki. So the Igbos are going to be happy. Mr. President, you are doing great job. Same thing they told Bokwari for 8 years. Bokwari was killing the young Igbos in Igbo land, right? The Igbo politicians were praising Bokwari. They were giving him chieftaincy titles. He was frequently visiting the old places of Digba in Igbo. Here you go. They kept dressing him as, in Isiagu and all of that. Believing that, they continue to tell me that nobody loved Igbos more than Bokwari. Bokwari loved Igbos. Today, Umahi is saying that it is because Bokwari marginalized the Igbos. That was why they were asking for Biafra. So tomorrow, another person is going to say, let's say maybe Atiku is your president, right? Somebody is going to say later, say Atiku loved the Igbos so much that he's the only person who is doing the right thing for another Igbo politician. So, and similarly, you see Yorubas that will tell you that the Yorubas they are so blessed under this, so and so. None of them represent the people. Just remember that. So if people are asked, there will be a percentage of Igbos that will say no. Those asking for Biafra, they should know that Biafra is gone. There's no more Biafra, this or that. You guys see, they have that mindset. But I don't think they are in the majority. And that's the reason why they are so afraid to throw out a referendum on it. I mean, do you know what a referendum is, right? Referendum is like election. Those of you who want Biafra, you will be campaigning. You'll be convincing people what is going to be about. You know what I mean, right? Those who don't want Biafra, they will be campaigning. A day of election will come. People will go and choose yes or no. Should you know that the election could be bought in Nigeria? I participated in a referendum, independent referendum in Scotland. Okay? I actually campaigned for yes. Right? Scotland should have independence out of the UK. So it was very tight. We're going to win. Yeah, we're going to win. Because, yeah. So that's how I got the idea of how this referendum things goes and works, and the election around it, as well as the corruption around it, you know what I mean? The rigging and all that, right? Shit happened, right? Because suddenly, big blue, all these big companies, all these massive, what do you call them? All these big firms They were all interested. You know what I mean? Like, no, if you go, if Scotland go, all the old people, they said, Scotland is the, out of this union, right? Scotland is the one with the oldest, with the population, with the population of the oldest people in the UK. So meaning a sizable number of Scottish, right? They are old. So if Scotland should break up, their pension, something is going to happen. Their pension is insured by the Bank of England or something. So you get so for life. So there is no guarantee. So they convinced us here then that they were giving us extra subvention. That Scotland is making so amount of money for the union, and Scotland is taking back. For example, like you have Shokoto. Say Shokoto is contributing. No, sorry. Let me use a region now. Let's say northwest, northeast. Northeast is contributing 20 billion naira to Nigeria, but they are cashing out over 400 billion, something like that. Here you go. So they should painted the picture that and our pensioners, old people, there are so many. They were afraid. They didn't want to lose their pension. They were like real Scottish people. They love Scotland. They want to. So that's what the campaign was all about. They say it was fear mongering. It was this or that, but it was their life. Do you understand? They say your life is better together than for you to go and have Scotland. So when the referendum campaign comes, those of you who are pro Biafra, you will fight and convince the old, the young, everybody why they should, everything will happen in Biafra. Why those ones who wanted Nigeria, they will also use Nigeria, and so you get that they will bring out fake data, good data, original, to convince people not to go with you. That is what is called referendum. But yet, they are still afraid to even give it a shot. Because when you look at the Biafrans and then this marginalization since after Gowon said, no winner, no vanquish, right? Generation after generation have realized that, no, in fact, there is a systemic profiling. And they may pretend or live in denial for a while, but sometimes they will come to the reality and they will become agitated. So, I don't think money or lies or anything, propaganda can stop them from not voting yes for Biafra. That's why they didn't try it. You get what I mean? It's not people like they're Umahi. It's not people like, it's like somebody saying Tinubu loves Yoruba nation, the rest of that. I'm like, shut up your mouth, man. You don't treat what you like or you love like that. You know that. So they are not the people that will speak for you and me. But they are those who are currently using me and you as their meal tickets. They are cosplaying. They are like pretending to be us, to care for us, but they don't. Even when they have all the power to make a huge difference, they still they still blow it. And it's always intentional. I don't think they are in the better position to speak for you and I. I'll leave you to that one. Last 2 weeks or thereabout, we have been witnessing the incessant kidnappings, from the churches or communities being ransacked, especially in this north central, Kogi and Kwara in particular. They fell to local government area 2 nights ago. Some soldiers caught some suspected, terrorists, because that's what I call them. So they were caught with weapons and ammunition and what have you. And while they were being questioned in Yoruba, I think they said, well, they were not sent. They were armed by government officials, Kwara State government official. What's the name of that official? That part is not probably made public. It's not disclosed. But you know what people said, that if terrorism or if a crime or something lasted for more than a day, then the government is more than 24 hours, then the government is likely involved, right? It's just going to be like the last we're going to hear from these ones. Of these ones, we may never hear from them again. Or we may not even hear about this anymore. But this was 2 nights ago.
wallahi ban taɓa kai.
Yaushe kuka shigo nan?
Mun dade mu nan muke.
Kun dade a nan?
Muna nan ne.
To me ya kai ku can ya ja ba ku mota? Nan da wata uku, ka ce nan da wata uku.
Aiki ne muke yi da su.
Wani yin aiki?
Patrol.
Daga nan ku je can ku patrol? Kwara State?
Wallahi.
Na fuel I dey put for na body o. Na fuel I dey put for your body. Talk true now. Talk true na fuel I dey put for your body. Talk true make you no die. Na fuel I dey put for your body.
Ilori government na give us this motor.
So the weapon you go give now?
Some of them na them na.
You dey look at na fuel I dey put for your body.
Wallahi na from even you go Kogi here.
You go Abuja go collect the weapon.
Babangida, yes.
Na for Abuja you go collect the rifle, abi na for Ilorin. How you take no say na from Abuja?
Me, I know because we there with them. We go patrol how many times with them. We go patrol how many times with them. Oga Bito, and the Tinja. All of them, they involved. Now they are weapons. Oga Tinja, now they are weapons. Not our own.
Okay.
Not be our own. Not be our own. Wallahi, not be our own.
No wala now.
Now that things are not their own.
We'll go and pick all of them.
Oga Victor. It was one Oga Victor. You know, we got that from Ilorin. Government official. The Minister of Defense, Bello Matawale, has been accused again and again and again. No, not accused. He has been exposed as a sponsor, financier of these terrorists as well, even when he was a governor, under the cover of amnesty for terrorists. He's rolled out billions of naira in funding them. So 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, Bello Turuji is declared wanted. In fact, they have actually declared him killed 4 times. Yeah, that they've killed Bello Turuji, but he's just not dead. Okay. So about 2 weeks ago, it came out when there's a report that somebody who was an advisor to Bello Matawale, when Bello Matawale was governor of Zamfara State, this was just about 2019 to 2023. So Bello Matawale had one advisor who is also known to have been an Hamora for Fulani terrorists, who was kind of like mentioned, not by the media, not by the people, but by Bello Turuji himself. And he said, yeah, Matawale funded him. Then they broke up. So Matawale now became minister, only for Matawale to now be funding another terror group and then using the federal government military to be hunting him and killing his people. He said that. Oh, Baba, that's how you're going to know, say, these guys are like, the bomb, man. I don't know how Bello Matawale now called Bello Turuji the terrorist. Bello Turuji now came out just yesterday, and started defending Bello Matawale with your law. Now here, the first one, this one was, I think this is the one for 2 weeks ago, telling everybody that Bello Matawale is looking for him, right? And simply because he no longer work for him.
Sunana Muhammadu Bello Turji a arewa maso yammacin Najeriya. Na joni da ake ce ma Mustapha Sarkin Kaya, na fito na yi magana bidiyo, na ce gwamnatin Zamfara da ta gabata ya ce mina ne gata tsohon gwamna sheri ne aka yi me to me ta baba ana mai sheri ko me ta baba gaskiya abu in ka je ka bincika in ma baka san ma'ana abun ba. Abun da muka ce dan mai gari kanan bashari ne uwa ɗai uba ɗai, kuma mun ce dan ta'adda ne kuma yana rike da bindigogi kuma yana zanna dajin maradin. To kai in baka da masaniya duk yan Najeriya sun sani, duk duniya ta sani an taɓa wani abu kaya wanda ya ɗaure ma duk duniya kai. duk mai hankali ya san an yi shi kuma ya san ya faru. Wa ya sace 'yan matan ƙayan Maradon? Lokacin da an ka kwashe su, aka kai su daji aka yi garkuwa da su, wa ya sace su? Kai ya ka sace su koko ni? Sai tambayar ka muke yi, tunda ka ce Bashari ba ɗan ta'adda ba ne, tsohon gwamna bai da sa hannu. To tambayar ka muke yi, gare ka an so su koko gare ni? Mu mun ce Bashari ya an so mutane kuma ga ƙane ne wanga ɗan mai gari sun ka an so mutane. Kuma duk duniya ta san an saci 'yan makarantar ƙayan Maradon. To bindigogin da aka saci 'yan matan ƙayan Maradon suna hannun wa? Ka ce Bashari na tare da jami'an tsaro na tursasa ma turji shine yan matsu. To in tambaye ka inga kake dabba jahili, me ya taba kawo maku bindigatawa? Ya faɗi guda wanda taba kawo maku. Tafiye nike ina nike zuwa ina yadda me ni. Faɗa mani cikin Najeriya in ga haka so in zo iyo ma lalura. Kai da jahili ne baka ma san kai ba. Ka fahimta ko? Mu abunda mun ka ce Bashari yana da daba daji kuma tana kai ma Zamfara da Kaduna da Sokoto hari. Kuma ba ka da dama ƙaryata wannan maganar. Tunda in kana da dama bindigogin Bashari da aka dan mai gari ka anshe su ka kai ma Bashari, ka anshe su ka ba gwamnati. Kuma mun ce gwamnan Zamfara tunda ya ce ya yi sulhu da Bashari ma ne hito ma 'yan jarida da kowa inga Kabiru ya bada makaman shi. A yi magana. Don ba ka so a faɗi gaskiya. Mun ce Kabiru dan ta'adda ne mu na fatattake shi amma gwamnati ta je ta bashi matsuguni kuma shine mu ba zargi bane muke dimon gare mu kai ka zargi. Sunana Haza Salamu, na gode Muhammadu Bello Turji. Duk wani mai tababa ya je ya bincika. Kuma akwai wani bature da aka sata a yankin Mafara. Waya
worry, no be your fault. You get me? It is not your fault. Then yesterday, the same Bello Turuji, obviously, Matawale, which is Matawale, has been running from pillar to post, paying influencers, especially these northern influencers, to start portraying him as innocent, that those who are accusing him of being friends with the terrorists, they are just trying to tarnish his image because he's doing a wonderful job with Tinubu. How do you aim to actually end terrorism and you brought in somebody who is in bed with terrorists? It's not like a strategy. If it was a strategy, then it's not working. You know what I mean? But why would you do that? The Bello Turuji terrorist came out to come and defend. He said, no, Batawale never gave him money. In fact, they've never met. No, I think he said they met, but he never gave him money. Something like that. Because this language barrier is also a problem. Sure you get. This was a Bello Turuji, just shortly.
Mun shaida ne ka gani da ni da CD mun je mun ga matawalla ido amma wallahi ni matawalla bai ban miliyan 3 ba. Ina iya rantsewa da Qur'ani wallahi tallahi bai ba mu ba. Amma ka zo ka ce miliyan 30 wallahi ƙarya kake. Anan ƙarya kake wannan gaban. To kuma dussa da kake magana sulhu aka ce an yarjejeniya ba mai sake taɓa ne aka ba kwamitin ku na makiyaya ku sai mu da dussa kuma duk buhu abin da an ka baka nawa ni baka naira 650 kenan kyauta aka baka ka dussa. Kai Alai Musa ka ji tsoron Allah ka faɗi gaskiya abin da ka sani wannan ba mai dorewa ba ce wannan duniya ko ban ma ita aka kashe mata walle ba ni abun da za ka zo ka dawama bane ka fahimta ko abun da muke son ba mu fahimta in yan ta'adda aka yi bida kai Alai Musa ai ubanka ake kamowa tsohon gwamnan jihar Sokoto mu muna da cece kucencewa da shi da Yarima su duk bala'in da an ka haddasa a jihar Zamfara da Sokoto a kama su ba da labarin waye ya sare ruggagen mutane Fulani waye ya kirkiri yan banga waye ya kirkiri wadanda ke kashe Fulani Alai Musa Kamarani wa ka sani na san ka bari in tambaye ka a gidanku da kake zaune isa local government a kilomita 1 da gidanku baka san yammacin dan gwandi akwai mashekar hillani wanda ake kira malasa ba uban kai sai fa aka sari baka san dinga bale ba uban kai sai aka sari baka san rai mace ba uban kai sai aka sari baka san tusar biri ba duk gabati isa ne nake wannan magana Alai Musa kuma haka ce akwai wani da kari kici da Zamfara wanda ya wuce uwayenku subhanallahi wa iyazu billahi To lokacin da babu Matawalle a mulki, lokacin wannan shehi wake ɗaukan nauyinmu. Mu fa mun zo daga Rabbil Alamin ne, ka fahimta ko kuma kai ka sani ba wani mutum mai ɗaukan nauyinmu. In sheri za ku yi mu ba a siyasa da mu, kuma ba mu tare da 'yan siyasa. Mu mun zo daga inda Allah ne, ka fahimta ko ba a haɗa kai da ni a wani shar. Matawalle ya cuce ni kuma na bashi da Rabbil Alamin. Mun shaida ne ka gani da ni da Moisidi mun je mun ga Matawalle ido, amma wallahi ni Matawalle bai ban miliyan 3 ba. Ina iya rantsewa da Qur'ani, wallahi tallahi bai ba mu ba.
So that's Turuji denying ever collecting 30 million naira from Matawalle. Okay. Yes, they've met in the government house, the blah, so person was there, yeah, and all that. Okay. So he's not had any financial relationship with the minister.